pair of jeans, a shirt or two. We didn't pack as if we weren't going back. It doesn't matter if it's true. I've got a feeling love will give us what we lack. The world is waiting up. The world is waiting half a step beyond our door. Yeah. And if it's not enough, I wanna see the stuff the world has got in store. I wanna take it all in, I'm falling. The cityscape by night, wanna catch in my photos. Where you go, every corner twice as bright. They'll be my treasures forever. When I can't hold you tight, I'll see the Stockholm lights. The Stockholm lights, the Stockholm lights. Tomorrow feels a year away, like the seconds, the beginning and the end. But if in time it's yesterday, your picture's gonna bring it home to me again. The world is waiting up. The world is waiting half a step beyond our door. And if it's not enough, I wanna see the stuff the world has got in store. I wanna take it all in, I'm falling. The cityscape by night, wanna catch in my photos. Where you go, every corner twice as bright. They'll be my treasures forever. When I can't hold you tight, I'll see the Stockholm lights. The Stockholm lights, the Stockholm lights.
What do spirits say? What do spirits say in the darker days? What do spirits say? What do spirits say? What do spirits say in the darker days? do spirits say?
Took a swing at a wrecking ball and I prayed for my downfall, and I found a way to reconcile, cause in my heart it's not worthwhile. It's a bloody battlefield where some go down, others heal. In the end it's all the same. All you can do is play the game. Oh, do we say goodbye? Refuse to question why. I deserve to say I'm sorry, so lie. Pretend that you're okay. Swear that you will stay. Keep trying for one day. I'm sick of all these lies. Don't care if I capsize. There's nothing left for me to hide. Don't wanna live a lie. Too many lows, too many highs. Too many things to criticize. And so I leave it all behind. Don't wanna live a lie. Life kept spitting at my feet and forced me down a dead-end street when
What's up, guys? Welcome back. All right, so a little bit of a delayed start there to the stream today, but we are back. We are getting straight up into our second game. So Patchy, I'm not sure if the sound works, but it seems like it does. I can hear you. Yoo-hoo!
Hey!
All right, so
we're out here.
Say again?
We're out here.
Yes, sir. All right, so we are heading straight up on towards the MARRUMAN map, and we've got a few teams in the lobby, of course. This being our week 3 for the Mettlestate Season 5 Open Series. All right, so without any further ado, let's jump straight up into the room so we can have a quick look at the teams and then hopefully get in on some of that action as well. All right.
Yep.
So there we have it. We've got the players from OXIUM, of course, over in slot 1. We've got the players there from Alpha Pack in slot 2. We've got the players from Blink in 3. We've got the team from Complexity in 4. We've got DARKSIDE in 5. And of course, you got Effects up in slot 9. We've got the players there from the Exterminators in 11. We've got God of Devils in 15. We've got the players from IMPETUM, or IMP, in slot 16. In 18, we've got the players there from MECHA 6. In 20, we've got the Natural Killers. And then, of course, in slot 21, we have the team there from NEXUS, SCARLET. So a nice lineup that we've got for the team. So let's have a look at where this flight path is taking us. So as you can see, it's a nice, you know, southwest to northeast one. A little bit more focused over towards the eastern side of the map. So it is a little bit more limiting with the reach for the players, of course.
Yeah.
But I really definitely think that this is going to be a very, very interesting match, seeing where it goes. And then, of course, you know, we can get into some action. We got 12 teams.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. Waiting to see what these teams can sort of bring to the table. We've been seeing a lot of improvement all across the board, pretty much from all of our facets, all of our games across the sort of series. So I'm interested to see what these teams, you know, bring to the table. I want to see them in action again. You know, we've seen some of these names, you know, quite a few times. So I'm looking to see who comes out on top and who's bringing some big game here today.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll get some of that big game fairly early on. We got the team from Effects as well as Complexity now pushing up over towards Impala. We've got 2 teams already touching down in Chumacera, that being the players there from Alpha Pack as well as the team from DARKSIDE. And we got 2 more teams now heading off in the direction there of San Martin and Hacienda del Patron. And then of course we got the Exterminators as well as the players there, the God of Devils heading off to the side way up in the north there over towards Torre Ahumada. So let's jump up into Chumacera and see what we got cooking over here, as we've got 2 teams landing fairly close in Murmur terms. We've got DARKSIDE of course just atop the hill there, and of course the players from Alpha Pack 2 right over here. So it doesn't seem like we're seeing any of them moving up just yet, but let's see if we have any action in the meantime over on the Impala side, as we've got the players here from Effects now on the prowl, and we've got those 2 players there from Complexity of course just up ahead of them, that being Squish and Skur.
Yeah, interesting to see. One of the things about this map specifically, and especially when we have, when we're talking about 12 teams, you have to realize that it takes quite some time, to actually get that action started. So you basically have 2 choices when you're playing on this map. You either wait, loot up, get yourself in a position where you want to take the fights in the late game, or you drop into the hotspots and you just try and take the fights early, because you don't really have many other choices. The chances of you just randomly running into someone on a map as big as this, when there's only 46 players in the lobby in total to begin with, it's very small. So right now the first thing that the teams are probably going to end up doing is either taking the early fights and then we'll just see what happens, or we'll see a lot of teams just playing, passively, getting everything done before they head into the final zones, where the fights will really start to happen. Because, you can see, even though we've got a couple of teams that are relatively close, in Hacienda del Patron and also down there in Chumacera, the size, the distance between the teams is quite large. So, the chances that we see fights immediately are relatively small.
Yeah, no, the distance is quite significant, as you mentioned there, and we're just now trying to see, will we see a potential fight maybe break out between Mamba there from the Natural Killers, of course over towards the players there from OXIUM. He is moving up in towards water treatment, where we've got those players already holding up, and then of course now we've got Puppy coming over the hill just over towards his southwest there, so that could potentially open him up for a few more shots flying his way. So yeah, Mamba just risking it out in the open there.
Yeah,
but he is a natural killer,
not the biggest.
So he'll be okay.
Yes,
he'll be okay.
Yeah, the risk is not so great. When you're sitting in a lobby like this, it's kind of like, you could take that risk because you most likely won't get punished for it. In any other lobby on any other map, you would most likely be punished for that. But in a map like this, like I said, it's so big and there's so few teams that you could probably get away with a couple of things that you wouldn't usually be able to get away with. Yeah. So Mamba's just going to be just wingling his way through some of the teams. OXIUM not really going to be able to pick up on that. Everyone just sort of going through the process, checking the buildings out, systematically just, getting the loots, making sure they're doing all the stuff. And basically we're just waiting on the blue zone to happen, or we're waiting on, some teams to fight over a specific area. Maybe they're going for some loot. Maybe we'll see a drop happen on the map somewhere that they'll fight over. But, right now we're just waiting for some sort of motivation for the teams to actually fight.
Ooh. Well, we got the players here from Effects already pushing up on Complexity. Let's see, will Squish be able to squish them, or will he get squished? Nope, down he goes.
He gets squished.
Well done, well played.
Yes. Yeah, and that was pretty much the only fight that we had ring on the map as well. Everyone else is too far apart.
Yeah. Yeah, now we're just waiting to see what's going to happen. We still have OXIUM and Natural Killers fairly close together. Then, of course, we've got the Exterminators up in the north there in Torre Ahumada. And, of course, the players there from, the God of Devils team also right up in Campo Militar. So it's not often that we see teams moving up into that region of the map, especially the Campo Militar area. But, maybe they make something good of that. It is quite some distance to cover to get all the way back up in towards zone. But who knows, you know, maybe they'll surprise us with a nice little, you know, surprise attack up on the teams, you know, with the late rotation up into a zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see how this
Maybe.
unfolds.
Yes, we certainly shall. We certainly shall. So with that zone falling down there towards the south, some of those teams going to have to make their way down. But most of the teams already, sort of the bulk of the teams are inside the zone. So for now, they're pretty much okay. You know, it's really going to come down to the favorite spots, you know, where the teams are most comfortable. And if those spots overlap, so if 2 or 3 teams feeling comfortable in the same spot and they all go for it, then we'll see the fight start to happen. Maybe the teams send out some scouting crews, which I see sometimes on this map. Sometimes I see, you know, a team sending 1 player or 2 players out just to go and scout, just to go and sort of feel out the area, which I think is actually a pretty good strategy on this map specifically, just because there's so much space on it. You really do sort of need to know where you're moving and see what's going on the map before you actually make your moves. So maybe we'll see some of that, and maybe those scouts will, you know, spot out some players and they can launch some attacks. You know, if a team decides to be extra aggressive, you know, then they'll go looking for some teams, go sniff out where they're sitting and then attack their positions. But otherwise, yeah, we're just waiting for that blue zone to start coming in and yeah, just encouraging the players.
Yeah, well, we've got Mr. Schnitz there on scouting duty. He's already all the way down over near the power grid. And we're just waiting now to see, you know, if he's going to be able to spot any of those players there from Mecha 6 up at the power plant. It is a bit of a stretch at the moment, to be honest. You know, there's also quite a bit of terrain and such in his way. So, yeah, you just got to see.
Yeah, it's like just almost about half a kilometer between him and Mecha 6.
Yeah. But nothing's impossible. I mean, we can also see the players from Mecha 6 rendering in every now and again on the map here. So, yeah, let's see. Maybe, hopefully, we might get a little bit of engagement. We've got the remainder of the natural killers, of course, now grouping back up with Mr. Schnitz. You know, after he's moved up all the way. It doesn't seem like the players from Mecha 6 are, you know, really, like they've really caught wind of anything just yet.
Yeah, and they also don't need to move. There's no reason there. They're sort of right slap bang in the center of zone, which is kind of a good place to be, you know, because you have a more likely chance of being close to the next zone. So being right here in the middle is sort of a great place to be for them. They don't really need to move or do anything until the next zone is decided.
Yeah, no, that's true. And I mean, we've got the zone closing in the next few seconds time, so that will count in their favor. We've got the whole team there from God of Devils, of course, still in the blue zone. And it is quite some distance to cover to make it all the way up into a zone. In fact, it's 2.5 kilometers for them to travel. So it seems like they've got some vehicles at the ready at least, but it's still going to take them some time to make it all the way in. You know, and a lot can happen, you know, flung out of, you know, getting flung out of your vehicle, as we've seen numerous times on several of the maps, and especially on the Miramar map, because it is so, you know, because the terrain is a little bit weird, you know, quite bumpy and such. You know, we often see players getting flung all over the place.
Yeah.
So who knows? We might even see a little bit more of that. Here we go. So Mr. Shade there, pimping it out with his golden Dorado. Just putting up a quick handbrake maneuver. So there we go, showing it off on camera. Well done, well done. Ash doesn't seem too phased about it. He's just like, meh, it's just another one. You think this is like Ash, like Mr. Ketchum?
Well, I guess we'll see. You know, because if he really does want to catch a ball, he's already missed out on 2. There's 44 still alive that he can potentially get. You know, minus his teammates, of course. And, you know, maybe a little bit less. But there's plenty of them to catch if he wants to go ahead and catch them all.
Yeah, we'll update the Pokédex and all that. You know. So
yeah. We'll wait and see if he's got what it takes to be a real a real master.
Yeah. He wants to be the very best.
Yeah, I bet like no one ever was.
Yeah. And to catch them is his real quest.
Yeah, I guess to train them would be his cause.
And to train them is his cause, yes.
Yeah, he'd probably travel across the land searching far and wide.
It's very, very possible. You know, it is one of those maps. You know,
it is one of those maps,
you know, it doesn't just come to you. Actually have to, you know, like go out and find them and, you know, and try and get everything happening. So yeah, you've really got to go out and look for him. Yeah. Well, hopefully he's got all his equipment ready, and yeah, we'll see if he does. We'll see if he does. All right. Well, in any case, we're finally going to see the new zone being chosen. We'll see where that drops momentarily. Most of the teams have made their way successfully inside the zone. They're all just sitting pretty happily here, just moving in. We see 2 drops on the map, one by Los Leones, one by Graveyard. Otherwise, nothing too crazy. The new zone has decided to be up there towards the north eastern side. And like I said, SG, they're just sitting pretty happily in there, don't have to move just yet. And they're actually somewhat in the center of this zone as well. So they really don't have to go anywhere. Yeah, well, we'll see how this goes. You got the players there from, you know, from God of Devils still making their way in. And as we mentioned, it is, you know, quite some distance to cover, and they are still moving up, but we might even see them pushing up right in towards the players there from OXIUM, and we also might see the players from Blink pushing up over towards the team there, you know, from Imp. So, yeah, let's see how this goes. Maybe. Or we might even see the players there, you know, God of Devils might even rotate up, straight up in towards the Exterminators.
Yeah, we'll just wait and see. We will wait and see. There's still plenty of space in the zone, you know, so they could potentially just play quite passively if they wanted. But yeah, I guess we'll see what happens with these rotates, see if they do bump into anyone. If not, we'll just wait for the next zone.
Yeah.
And the next one and the next one until they start absolutely destroying one another.
Yeah, that would be the ideal. That would be the ideal. Yeah. You know, that's what we're hoping for. And we've got DARKSIDE, of course, now getting quite close to the players over here. We've got a few shots now being fired across. Not quite sure who DARKSIDE is shooting at, because we got the natural killers up on the hill, and it seems like DARKSIDE is just shooting at the ground or something. Maybe they're just trying to ground themselves, you know? It's like one of those things.
Yeah.
Or maybe they soiled themselves and now they're just trying to get, you know, away from it or something. We never know, you know? It's like...
Who knows?
It's either or. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a mystery. I guess we'll never know. Alright, so we'll see those teams begin to make their way up. AP and Effects also moving up. We've got yeah, most of the teams inside the zone, so they're sitting pretty happily. Gods of Devils moving down. Finally, after their long journey, they've made their way in, and actually a couple of shots going off towards Blink, who've got themselves in a little bit of a mix here. They're quite close to, well, fairly close to the Darksiders here.
Yeah, or as we know it in South Africa, load shedding.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, the players there from DARKSIDE, they are definitely moving in, putting quite a bit of damage into the vehicle that we see there for Blink. So let's see now, will they make the push? Oh, Mamba falling off. Was that a fling or did he fall?
I don't know. I was not watching.
Oh, down goes Superiors. Beautiful shooting there by Nax. Gets him straight through the little opening we have in the warehouse there. It was normal people would call it a door. You know.
Yes.
Takes the gap and shoots him down.
Yeah, well, Darksiders are moving up here towards the members of Blink, and Blink will take quite a bit of damage here. Some good nades going all the way in, making sure to do the damage. We've got 2 members of Blink down. Superior just getting rezzed up. It's Ice, President, and Superior to try and repel this attack from Darkside. Shroud is very much on the ground, but Ice getting taken down immediately. Some good shooting there. Darkside is really putting the pressure on now, really putting the assault all the way over towards Blink. Meanwhile, I'm actually also going to be taking some fights against Mecha 6 as well. So we finally have some fighting just beginning to happen. Ooh. Superior putting the hits in, just getting a lot of damage done, but Cobra firing back. Superior going to be taken down by Nax. And now we are left with President, and Shroud is knocked on the floor. So it's just President to try and make something happen here.
Yeah, and if he gets taken out, you know, that'd be really, you know, unprecedented, you know, like a beautiful push there by the DARKSIDE. So let's see what happens. They are healing up, they're wounded, and now the same going there for President. They've got them all shrouded in smoke. Let's see what is going to happen. Will they get the hits? Will they make any successful pushes? But we shall see, we shall see.
Yeah, we shall see indeed. Shroud getting res back up. Going to be pretty good. Now we're going to wait for those hits to start coming.
We nearly saw President getting taken down by beautiful Gren there flying up. He just managed to escape fast enough to get away safely. We got Shroud now putting a few shots as well over towards the players there from DARKSIDE as they're now moving up in towards the compound, or trying to. Let's see. Oh, gets shot from behind. It's up to President. He is pushing up. Oh, wow. Some quick reaction there by Mr. Gunmatic.
Yeah.
There we go. So
President just doing a lot of work as well, managing to stay alive for this time as DARKSIDE is assaulted. It's very tight here, but the shots are coming up, and Nax actually going to fall as well, and that is going to be President just clapping straight back. President and Shroud with 4 frags in total, repelling the attack from DARKSIDE and sending them straight back to the lobby.
Yeah, that was very well done. Well played. Some great shooting there by them. And we've got the players here from Imp now engaging with the team, of course, there from the Natural Killers just off ahead. So let's see, will they be able to get those shots in? And potentially maybe get a few knocks in on the Natural Killers, or will the Natural Killers get the hit on them? We got Sela, Juicy, Schnitz, and Mr. Mamba there.
Yeah, well, the zone is definitely small enough this time around for all those fights to start happening. You can see there's a couple of teams rotating in there from the north, which could potentially, you know, run into one another. There towards the south, Blink might just be getting rolled up on. You can see Hunter and Shadow moving up here to, just to see what they could see. They might just be driving past a couple of shots, but they will not be deterred. So everyone's in zone, and well, now the space gets a little bit tighter, which is what is going to get those fights started. All right.
Well,
You see Hunter here moving up.
Yeah. That was just what I was about to say. They're moving in. Oh, shots. Wow, effecting some great shooting there. Now it's Reaper and Shadow that are now, you know, just a little bit late to the party there, but they have decided to join in at least. That's, of course, now NEXUS SCARLET moving in. You can see Reaper taking a few hits there. We got Shadow, of course, also now moving up. Let's see, will NEXUS SCARLET be able to get these hits in on the players? Oh, the players there from MECHA 6 getting a few hits in, as well as the Natural Killers.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah. So the fight's going all across the board, and Natural Killer's actually going to take down MECHA 6. So MECHA 6 gets sent back to the lobby. Meanwhile, the fight's still going on here against NEXUS SCARLET, and well, they're going to be sent back to the lobby as well.
Yeah. Oh, some nice working there once again. All right, so we've got quite a few teams now converging right there on the Natural Killers, so they are in a pretty good spot, you know, being able to take on these teams. Now let's see, will they be able to fend them off? We still have Imp moving in. We've got the players there from OXIUM getting hit. Alpha putting a quick few hits in. 2 players, of course, now deciding to rotate up. Let's see, are they going to try and get these hits in on OXIUM, or will OXIUM stop them dead in their tracks?
Well, we will see for sure, because OXIUM is also taking shots over towards the Natural Killer. So they're fighting 2 foes at once, but Imp is going to be the main threat at the moment as they slowly make their way up towards OXIUM.
We're seeing some beautiful shooting there by Riggs. Getting some great hits in. We got Alpha, of course, now moving to the lobby almost. Let's see, Oxide going for the reses there. Riggs putting more hits in as well. So he is now trying to get those shots in over towards the players, of course, from Imp, as well as over towards the Natural Killers. They are just down to 3. Puppy, of course, getting taken out not too long ago. So let's see how this will turn. Well, yeah, how this will turn out for them. Will they be able to clutch this? The Natural Killers, of course, now putting head after head. Down goes Oxide. Everything now riding on Grobbies and Mr. Riggs here. Riggs, of course, taking quite a bit of damage. We got Riggs, Magnum now moving up. Let's see. He's going to try and get over towards Mr. Alpha there for the res. Reaper keeping a watchful eye on OXIUM. Riggs now managing to slip by on the side. That was close.
Still got his crosses trained as well.
And now we've got the players here from God of Devils moving up as well, just sneaking in from behind.
Yeah, that's going to make things really difficult for somebody, at least. Rick's really doing a lot of damage. He's just been putting so many shots in and winning so many fights, and he just continues to win fight after fight. This man does not go down. He refuses, and now he gets rewarded for his efforts. Doing so much work here, keeping his team afloat. Already got 2 for himself and looking to try and make it more, as Natural Killers and Gaza Devils now moving up quite close.
And we've got the Exterminators just off on the side as well. We got Oxide now moving up towards Leo. Let's see, will Oxide be able to get these hits in? He is now, I think, the last one left for the team. Yes. Oh, shots coming in now from all directions. Alpha lands the final blow. Well done.
Yeah, finally OXIUM gets sent back to the lobby. Ricks can't do any more. Gods and Devils get that one. And Imp, well, they pretty much okay with that. They're like, yeah, we're not going to push that one too hard because there's a whole squad all the way at the top there that we don't want to mess with. But, well, Nitro is quite happy to mess with them. God of Devils taking a couple of hits all the way from the top there.
You can see Mr. Bape, of course, now putting a quick few hits in over towards the players there from the Exterminators. Now the blue zone moves in as well. They've got 500 meters to cover to make it up into a zone safely. I don't think Mr. Bad there is going to get rezzed up in time. Well, he might get rezzed up, but I don't think he's going to make it very far because the blue zone at this point in the game, of course, does quite a considerable amount of damage to the players. So we'll see, you know, whether they'll be able to make it all the way up into a zone safely. As mentioned, it is quite some distance to cover there, but Blink now putting a quick few hits and effects. Also now just battling it out with them here. Let's see, is it Shroud? Oh. So Gigabot landing a beautiful quick few hits, and I think that might almost nearly be the end, but we still have Mr. President, of course, here. Now getting caught in the blue zone, quickly trying to out-heal the zone. Moves up with the empty flare gun. Oh, there we go. President getting a beautiful hit there on Mr. Angry.
Yeah, difficult spot to be in, but we have 7 teams, 21 players, and that zone is very, very small now. Finally just going to force those players to take more and more fights as they move in. You can see Natural Killers already inside that zone. It's the rest of the teams that need to make their way up. You can see the blue zone starting to do that damage, starting to catch players out. Going to make things very difficult here.
And we got the players, of course, here from Imp pulling up right next to the Exterminators. Got Mr. President getting that finishing blow in on Angry. So it's definitely turning into a bit of an interesting one here as the players from Imp now trying to move up. We got Juice now just perched up on their rock here, putting some shots in, gets that hit in. Oh, blows up the vehicle for Alpha.
Yeah, that's the end of that. They also get sent back to the lobby. And we are left with 5 remaining teams, but I don't think President's gonna be able to do this one because he's moving up. He's got about half health, and he's getting pinned down from the players from Effect. They're not letting him move up whatsoever, so he might just perish to the zone here. I don't think he's going to make this one. It's going to be very difficult. The supplies are eventually going to run out. Eventually, he's not going to be able to out-heal that zone, and effects aren't moving until they have him secured in their kill feed.
Yeah, and we are down to our last 5 teams. You can see effects, of course, now frantically searching, trying to see if they can pinpoint, you know, Mr. President, but he gets taken down by the zone. Well done to Blue Zone. Well,
yeah, and that's what they were waiting for as well.
Not that anyone was listening for the Blue Zone spot, but yeah, so we are down to our last 4, and it seems like we are 1 player short from 4 full teams.
Yeah.
And it's just the natural killers that don't have a full squad. They've already lost one of their players, as we've mentioned before. We got the players here from the Exterminators, of course, at the most northern part of the zone. Then, of course, the players here from Alpha Pack all the way on the eastern side. So it's like they've got all the angles pretty much covered. We've got effects also now just pulling up from the south. And then the natural killers just kind of in the middle there.
Yeah. Effects rolling up into the zone. Alpha Pack all the way towards the side. Now you can see there is natural killers just trying to take advantage of some of that height that they get out of scaling that rocky mountainside there. Just the rest of the very, very bumpy landscape in actuality. And effects are going to find themselves right at the bottom, using a couple of those mounds to just hide themselves from Alpha Pack. But right now, we're going to see how these teams decide to play this very interesting landscape.
Yeah, and this is not one of the easiest map finishes we've seen. We've seen a few interesting finishes on this map, especially with the zone, you know, having quite a wicked sense of humor. Oh, Darth Vader! Yeah, off he goes. Well done, well played there to Mr. Opium. We've got the remainder of the team, of course, now trying to get a good angle there. We got Holgan Power, Tupac, and Seroshin.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Alpha Pack just being slowly assaulted from effects there, but Alpha Pack is moving in, and you can see Schnitz actually just cheeky flanks coming in from him just to try and maybe catch a couple of players off guard. It might work if effects attention is drawn towards the other side. They could be caught out here. We'll see if that happens or not. Alpha Pack still here, just barely holding on, just putting on the sum of the pressure that they can. Some shots going to be ringing forth. Effects just taking cover where they can, trying to use the landscape to just bob and weave, make sure they don't get caught out.
Yeah, and then of course you got the players there from the Exterminators all the way in the northern side of the zone. We got a few Grens, of course, now flying up over towards Schnitz. We got Mr. Juice getting a quick hit in as well. So we got a Holgan Power. Oh! He is the second to last player. We got Seroshin, of course, now pushing up. Will he get those hits in? Gets the hit on Ozone. Now let's see, will Seroshin be able to finish this off as the players there from Effect now move up on his position. Oh, 2 for 2. 1 more to go. Angry is the last remaining contender for the Effects team. Natural Killers sneak in and take him down. Well done.
That's just a cold play from the Natural Killers, but a brilliant capitalization on the situation. Seroshin basically has no chance in a 1v3 with like very few HP, trying to res themselves back up, trying to make sure they're ready for the fight. But you can see Natural Killers, they want to come and just clean this up and then take a nice clean fight against the last final remaining team. Seroshin gonna go down, gonna get taken out, and now there's 2 teams, there's 7 players, and we'll see how this is going to end.
Yeah, we got the players here from the Exterminators now pushing up, shots flying straight up in towards them from the Natural Killers, as the team now, of course, try to cover the hill as they move all the way down up in towards zone. Easy kill, getting hit. Oh, so far also almost nearly an easy kill. We got Nitro, of course, now moving up, and we got Ruan right up ahead there as well. You can just hear the shots flying up there with his Uzi. Will he be able to get those hits in and redeem his own team from certain lobby, or we will see. So Nitro, of course, managing to get that res in on easy kill. The Natural Killers, of course, now moving up, healing themselves up as they rotate further up towards the potential zone there. A pretty good positioning there by them. They've got this whole zone pretty much covered. You know, they are dead smack dab in the middle there. We got Ruan, of course, now about to do a little dance there with Mamba. Mamba, of course, sending a quick molly his way. Easy kill getting knocked. It is now up to Ruan. Up comes Mamba. Oh, and game over.
Yeah, it is no accident that Natural Killers were able to play that one so well. They decisively moved up and put themselves right in the center zone, and that put so much pressure on the Exterminators there, and really allowed them to sort of capitalize on the fact that they were being pushed up uncomfortably by that blue zone. So really, really well played from the Natural Killers there.
Yeah, well done, well played. We got the Exterminators, of course, coming in second place. The Natural Killers finishing off their play there with 11 kills. The Exterminators finishing on 3. You got Alpha Pack finishing on 3 kills as well. In third place, you got Effects going back to the lobby there with 9 kills. In fourth place, you got Blink with 4 kills in fifth. Then, of course, we got the players there from Imp in 6th place. God of Devils in 7th. We got the team from OXIUM taking 8th place. The players there, of course, from NEXUS Scarlet, I think that was. No, it wasn't. It was one of yeah, let's go with NEXUS Scarlet. Okay, let's say NEXUS Scarlet finishing in 9th place. The players, of course, from MECHA 6 in 10th place. The DARKSIDE getting 11th, and Complexity being sent back to the lobby first. So there we go, there we have it. That is our second round for the day, of course. Coming to a very interesting finish there, and this blue zone, or the zone in general on this map especially, is not something to be laughed at, because it comes in with quite a sick sense of humor, swoops in, pushes the players into very uncomfortable positions, like that other one that we saw also on Mettlestate, where it finished, you know, right on the edge of zone, and you know, on the edge of the playable zone. So that was also quite a fairly sick trick by the game, if I must say so myself. But it does you know, also provide us with some interesting action, you know, for the teams there. So yeah, there we go, there we have it. That, of course, being our second game. We got our third one coming up in a, well, momentarily, rather, let's say that. Yeah, so without any further ado, let's jump up into the highlights while we try to get the third round underway, and we will bring you guys back as soon as that's yeah, ready. All right, so here we go with the highlights.
Out on top here, the zone's about to get small any second. Forced them into very, very uncomfortable close quarters, but Dragons in a pretty okay spot here with this building. Could work in their favor.
If they use it well, it could definitely, they could really benefit from it.
Let's see who comes out on top here. The zone's about to get small any second. Let's see who comes out on top here. The zone's about to get small any second. Forced them into very, very uncomfortable close quarters, but Dragons in a pretty okay spot here with this building. Could work in their favor.
If they use it well, it could definitely, they could really benefit from the position. They could really benefit from it.
Yeah, well, QST is going to get assaulted by Phoenix here, and they're going to get taken out immediately. So now teams to fight over a specific area. You know, maybe they're going for some loot. Maybe we'll see a drop happen on the map somewhere that they'll fight over. But you know, right now we're just waiting for some sort of motivation for the teams to actually fight.
Ooh. Well, we got the players here from Effects already pushing up on Complexity. Let's see, will Squish be able to squish them, or will he get squished? Nope, down he goes.
He gets squished.
Well done, well played.
Yes.
President, he is pushing up. Oh, wow, some quick reaction there by Mr. Gunmatic.
Yeah.
There we go. So
President just doing a lot of work as well, managing to stay alive for this time as DARKSIDE is assaulted. It's very tight here, but the shots are coming up, and Nax actually going to fall as well, and that is going to be President.
Few hits in as well as the Natural Killers.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah. So the fight's going all across the board, and Natural Killer's actually going to take down Mecha 6. So Mecha 6 gets sent back to the lobby. Meanwhile, the fight's still going on here against NEXUS Scarlet. And, well, they're going to be sent back to the lobby as well.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, some nice working there once again.
Already got 2 for himself and looking to try and make it more as Natural Killers and Gaza Devils now moving up quite close.
And we've got the Exterminators just off on the side as well. We've got Oxide now moving up towards Leo. Let's see, will Oxide be able to get these hits in? He is now, I think, the last one left for the team. Yes. Oh, shots coming from all directions. Lands the final blow. Well done. Power. Oh. He is second to last play. We got Serashin, of course, up. Will he hit in? Get hit on Ozone. Now let's see, will Serashin be able to finish this off as the players there from Effect now move up on his position. Oh, 2 for 2. 1 more to go. Angry is the last remaining contender for the Effects team. Natural Killers sneak in and take him down. Well done.
That's it.
Well done.
That's it. That's just a cold play from the Natural Killers, but a brilliant capitalization on the situation. Serashin basically has no chance in a 1v3 with like very few HP, trying to res themselves back up, trying to make sure they're ready for the fight. But you can see Natural Killers, they want to come and just clean this up and then take a nice clean fight against the final remaining team. Serashin gonna go down, gonna get taken out, and now there's 2 teams, there's 7 players
as they rotate further up towards the potential zone there. A pretty good positioning there by them. They've got this whole zone pretty much covered. You know, they are dead smack dab in the middle there. We got Ruan, of course, now about to do a little dance there with Mamba. Mamba, of course, sending a quick molly his way. Easy kill getting knocked. It is now up to Ruan. Up comes Mamba. Oh, and game over.
I
Got enough of every melody, they all sound the same. Yeah. For my broken heart, no remedy, but maybe if you stay, we can get away with it. 'Cause you make me love my imperfections, answer all my questions, just to show me what's on the other side of inhibition. No apologies, my baby. memories might let me fall back. But you'll be there, ready to rescue me if I go out of track. You can get away with it, 'cause you make me love my imperfections, answer all my questions, just to show me what's on the other side of inhibition. No apologies, my baby. I do you do 'cause I'm feeling so good. Yeah. What's on the other side of inhibition? Ooh, I do you do 'cause I'm feeling so cool. I'm barely breathing, trapped in this feeling. I wake up screaming your name, but I'm only dreaming. Vision is fading. I don't know why. I'm trying to try to tell myself what I should know. You run away, what's nothing to say, but I simply can't let you go. Can't let you go.
decide to let you go.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. All right, we are getting into our third map. That, of course, well, third match as well. Not only the third map, but the third match. We're going up on towards the MARRUMAN map. So let's see how this goes. The game has started. So let's see. Will we see some interesting action? Hopefully, it's going to be quite entertaining. We've got a few teams in the lobby once again. So let's see how this goes. We've got, yeah, a few teams. So, Betch, I think this might also hopefully be an interesting match.
Yeah. I mean, it was no surprise that we saw a little bit of a slower game in the previous match, just because, you know, 44 players, you know, we've got a big map. So it takes time, you know, for the players just to find one another. You know, there's not really so much tightness as you might expect. So, you know, it's normal that they get a little bit slow to start. But ultimately, yeah, it culminates in some pretty spicy stuff sometimes, as you said in the previous one. And as we've seen quite a bit, this map is very cold when it comes to its choice of zone. It can make some very ruthless decisions about where to put those zones. So, yeah, we'll see if that trend continues. We'll see if the zones are unforgiving and you know, very difficult to play in. We'll see if that continues, and that definitely promises to give us some spicy games.
Yeah, well, we've got 12 teams in the lobby, 43 players. We've got OXIUM, we've got AlphaPack, we've got Blink, we've got Complexity, DARKSIDE Effects, we've got the Exterminators, we've got God of Devils, we've got Imp, we've got the players there from MECHA 6, we've got the Natural Killers, and then, of course, we've got the players from NEXUS SCARLET as well. So, yeah, let's have a look at this flight path. So, very similar flight path this time, slightly more towards the north. Not as, you know, not leaning too much towards the eastern side as we saw in the previous one. But the flight path, you know, very, very similar. Also now, at this point in time, opening the map up to a few other locations that we really didn't see many players moving up in towards, like El Pozo, for instance, opening up, as well as the crater fields there. And yeah, now this round also making it a little bit more difficult to reach all the way over towards Impala. But we'll see. Maybe, you know, we'll see a few teams pushing up into some really interesting positions there. And hopefully we can get in on that action.
Yeah, for sure. We'll definitely, we'll see where the teams hit themselves up. Like you said, a little bit more open-ended area for some of those previously unseen spots here, and we didn't get to see in the previous map. Might just see them being filled now. But of course, we have 12 teams in total, so we'll see if any of them decide to drop nearby one another. You know, give us a little bit of that early action. Otherwise, we'll just have to sit and wait patiently. Now, it does look like Blink is going to be relatively close to a couple of teams there. We'll see if that comes to anything.
Yeah, so we'll hope to see some action here. We've got, like you mentioned, we've got Blink, of course, just up ahead, as well as the players there from NEXUS SCARLET that we can see on screen. And then we got a few more teams there, AlphaPack and the Natural Killers also landing in the surrounding area. And then, of course, also MECHA 6 just landing right behind us up at the power plant. So some definite possibilities there for some action. Let's just see how this unfolds, where the teams choose to move towards. And hopefully we'll see some action between the players, of course, here now from NEXUS SCARLET and Blink.
Yeah, We'll see if anything happens there. Of course, as per usual, the team's not really too focused on getting anything done immediately. You know, unlike in Erangel, where we see some teams just fighting from the get-go. You know, they pick up the weapons and they just aim and shoot. It's sort of a little bit less than that. You know, considering that the teams are very much further apart this time around. There's no one really in the immediate vicinity to just shoot instantly. So they still have a little bit of time to just walk around. You know, loot up, make sure they've got stuff going. So yeah, we're just waiting for them to finish that up and get themselves in a position where they feel confident enough to move forward and start taking the shots. You can already hear some of those players already in that position. A couple of shots going forward. Reaper taking a bit of damage, but everyone's still alive so far.
Yeah, Superior managing to get a few of those hits in. We got Sinister also right there with Reaper. So hopefully we might even see Blink and I'll start pushing up. We have, you know, Shroud and President, of course, you know, falling back ever so slightly, just providing that long range cover. As we know, we've got the other two, of course, now starting to move in. Reaper now about to get pushed as, oh, Paraboy moves in, but down he goes. Well done. There's some great shooting by Reaper.
Yeah, keeping himself alive for the moment. We'll see if that continues. They're Sinister off in the distance, not really in a position to help at the moment. Going to make things difficult.
Yeah, we got the Blink team pushing in, so he kind of needs that reinforcement, but it seems like Sinister has got, you know, other plans for this current position.
Yeah, it definitely seems to be that way. But for now, Reaper seems to be doing just fine, not really in too much of a you know, problematic situation. Healed himself up, being able to dodge away from those nades, sitting relatively happily. Although President's going to spot him out there in the window.
Oh, but Reaper now returns fire, puts those hits in towards President, not doing great amount of damage. But, you know, still managing to do some damage there, putting him slightly on the back foot. We've got Reaper now, of course, pushing up over towards Blink. Oh, down he goes. And Sinister now coming up from way off in the distance there. Not moving up just quite enough just yet. Superior getting knocked out as well now. Well shot there to Sinister.
Yeah, quite a distance away, is able to get a knock, but yeah, Sinister's quite far off, and with the rest of the Blink team there to support, it's really going to be down to Sinister to just sort of back off and not really have any other chance to do much else, because no team, no support, you know, that's pretty much it. Now, you'll see the zone has landed all the way there towards the southeast, which means that most of the teams are actually going to have to move, considering our flight path did take us more north, as we said. You know, it's going to mean that all those teams are now going to have to rotate their way all the way down there into that nice and spicy zone. Hopefully it doesn't fall right onto the beach. We'll see if that happens. But right now, Sinister still trying to take some shots over towards Blink.
Yeah, we've got the players here from Complexity also now slowly but surely moving up over towards Effect. So at the moment we've got a 2v4. So it's going to be a little bit of a tough one as well. And there is also quite some distance still between them there. So let's just quickly jump back to Sinister to see what he's getting up to. Any potential on this side. Will he be able to get any of those hits into the Blink team, or will Blink rush up and, you know, send him back to the lobby?
Yeah, we'll certainly see. Sinister just looking over there, trying to find any angles that he can potentially get on towards Blink. So far, Blink just running past those windows, just tipping them off, but never really showing themselves too long, making sure they're not getting taken down. As the rest of the teams do start to make their way up towards the zone, you can see some of the teams still straggling along behind, and some teams up there in between Torre and Cruz, you can see there's effects just up near by Squish and what's the other one? Squish and somebody else.
Here we go. Ah, down goes Sinister. Some great shots. Oh, Blink rushed that building. Well, not that he had much of a chance, but yeah, we've got effects. Also now pushing up on Complexity. So let's see, will Squish and Skur be able to keep them at bay? We got Mr. Angry now moving up. Will he be able to squish them? We shall find out soon enough.
Yeah, we'll see as he preps that nade to go hunting a little bit. Flushing out his prey as he tries to, yeah, just give him a bit of a scare.
Yeah, he seems a bit angry. Let's see what he does.
Yeah, just a bit.
Yeah.
Just trying to find those angles, waiting for effects to decide when to pull that trigger. Of course, Skur and Squish are 2 players, so you know you're gonna have that advantage. So once you feel comfortable, you can just rush the house with all of your players once you're set up. So Effects in a pretty good position here. They could potentially just rush into the house, and it looks like that might be what they're doing here. They do have the man advantage, and they could definitely catch some players out here. So Skur goes down. That's going to leave Squish all alone. This should be pretty easy, and it is. Squish goes down as well. So that is them taken out. So both of the teams with only 2 players in them in this lobby, that being, of course, Complexi and the other one. Yeah, they're gone now. So we have 10 teams left and 39 players. And we also have Blink very close to... Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Yeah, that's that one. Yeah. Yeah, well, in any case, we're going to have Blink right up here against the Alpha Pack. So they could potentially see some fights. The rest of the team's pretty well spread out here, just waiting for that zone to come in. It's certainly taking its time. We have plenty of time to move into the zone. Oh. So that's what happened to Tupac. He just went with Darth Vader. That's why we can't find him. Yeah. He just got up. Oh, yeah. Yeah, all right now. Yeah. Yeah, it's like you say, it is quite interesting actually, because a lot of the time, you know, teams will sort of stick together, especially when they're in a building. They'll just stay in the same building, which allows them to be rushed. You know, a team can just rush into that building and systematically, floor by floor, you know, wipe you out. But if you're spread out, if you've actually split your team up, regardless of whether you do it like a 2-2 split like the Alpha Pack, or if you do it like a line like Blink, it makes you a little bit more difficult, because while you can still put up a volley of fire from the same position, you're not all clumped together, so you can't all be taken down at once, which allows for trades, which is how you play. That's going to be the first one going down. So the trade comes out, Shroud going to be getting one. Can he get a second one? He's trying to get it. He gets knocked. Now Tupac trying to get that thirst in. A couple of hits going down. Blink need to come and do something about this, but the blue zone has moved in, making it very, very difficult to try and make something happen here. You can see the last 2 Blink members trying to put the hits in, but they can't decide whether it's worth it to just push into that blue zone. They're going to make their way up it's going to be pretty difficult. Blue Zone tickling away at their health bars, and the rest of the players from the Alpha Pack just trying to wait until the Blink players here to get the reses in. There comes Superior. He's going to take down Darth Vader, and they know they need to get those thirsts in quick because the Blue Zone is making the damage a little bit more dangerous. Yeah, definitely not an easy situation to play around. So yeah, well played there to both the teams, but obviously to Blink, especially for being able to come out on top of that one, playing pretty well. And the fact that they were able to save 3 out of their 4 members is pretty good as well. It means they're not going to take too much damage going into the next few fights whenever they do encounter those. But you can see the zone has decided to fall all the way down there towards the south of the playable area. And well, we've got 2 teams all the way towards Impala, and the rest of the team sort of just being there. You can see God of Devils all the way out there towards El Pozo still. So they've got either a very long way to go, or yeah, they're just going to be camping out in the blue zone for a little bit. We'll see what they decide to do. The rest of the team's making their way in slowly. Yeah. Maybe they're trying to school us. Night's Watch can take a look at this one and see what's going on here. Oh, he could still catch them all. He still has the potential to catch them all. Yeah, Effects is moving in very quickly. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, somebody had to win that fight as soon as possible because OXIUM moving in is going to make it difficult. So Effects, they are going to be quite happy that they had finally won that one, but they took a considerable amount of damage. So as OXIUM move in, they're going to want to be as prepared as possible for the upcoming fight because they don't really have a chance to escape here. They could have just hightailed it out of there, but they would have been on very low HP. So they're just going to heal it up and just hope that they can make it through the coming battle as OXIUM make their way up. Yep, just a quick dash to safety, but OXIUM's still in pursuit. Isn't it like a screen or something? Oh. Well, we finally see God the Devil's actually finally moving out of that blue zone. This is the first time they're stepping into the new open space. And they're still taking a very long way around. Yeah, this is what it feels like to not take damage all the time. Yeah, yeah. Also, I'm being told that a group of vultures is called a kettle or a committee. Yeah. So you could choose. You could choose. It's either a kettle of vultures or it's a committee of vultures. I like the second one. I like committee. I like committee because then it's like a bunch of vultures flying around and they're all deciding which piece of meat that they're gonna have. They're all debating about it. Yeah. That's fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, I'm interested to see that God of Devils has actually done a really good job at pulling off the heal strat. You can see they're all the way out there towards the exterior. They're right at the edges of the outskirts of the zone. So they really are dedicating themselves. They really are pushing this one hard. So this is a really good example of how to play the strat, you know, successfully. You've got to be absolutely, you know, like strong-willed. You can't give in halfway through. You can't like half-ass it. Like you have to just completely commit to the strat, and they did. I mean, I saw them. They were very low by the time they had finally made it out. So they really were pushing it to the limits, and that's sort of the way you've got to play it if you want to do it successfully. You can see the rest of the teams are sitting inside the zone, but there's quite a bit of space in between them. They haven't really been forced to fight just yet, and I think if God of Devils really want to push this one to the absolute, then I rate they play the heal strat one more time for maybe another zone, maybe just one more zone, just briefly, and wait for the rest of these teams to sort of start wiping each other out, because there's still 8 teams remaining and they have yet to start fighting because there's still plenty of space in between them. The only real sort of fight that we have going on here is a VM versus Oxy. Yeah. Well, maybe they'll get distracted by the snowman. Maybe OXIUM will get distracted by the snowman. Yeah. Yeah, I'd say that's very a very rare sight indeed. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, he did get the Heart of True Ice, so yeah. Yeah. Yep, it's pretty good distance there. So some nice sharp shooting coming out from Blink there. There's still 8 teams left alive, and everyone's making their way down towards the zone. OXIUM and Exterminators here from Impala might just clash before they make their way in. Effect just sitting down there towards the outside. Natural Killers making their way down as well, and Gods of Devils just following the highway all the way around, taking a bit of a road trip as they do. You can see Exterminators putting hits into OXIUM. Oh. Oh no. Yeah. Yeah, their road trip's taking them in. Yeah. Yeah, certainly RJ. Effects actually lingering down there allowed God of Devils to actually rotate right into them. We can see the shots going forward, trades coming out, some mollies even coming in from Imp onto themselves on the other side there. So quite a bit of action here coming towards the end. We'll see if Effects come out on top or if God of Devils will be able to win that one, because this will be the first fight I think that God of Devils actually has taken. Yeah. No, yeah, well, we're not talking about that one. Yeah. 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 Yeah, they're in a pretty good position here. Natural Killers just right off towards the outskirts. They're just watching people try and move up. Meanwhile, Darksiders are out there just on the outside of the ring of that zone, so they can also do a little bit of sightseeing to see if anyone's approaching. Blink going to make their way down in towards the zone. Imp going to be right there to meet them as well. Yeah, it's exactly like you said. A little bit of gatekeeping there, just keeping themselves out there, watching for effects to push up, and as they manage to struggle through the blue zone, they just take those shots and take them down. But Darksiders are going to be here to maybe do the same thing to God of Devils as they make their way up. Meanwhile, Blink going to be taking some shots over towards Natural Killers as they do make their way in towards the zone as well. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, for sure. You can see DARKSIDE is now making their way down, just slowly but surely pushing over. Natural Killers just down towards the one side. Imp moving in, Blink just sitting off there as well, waiting for the teams to close in. With those 4 teams left, the zone getting smaller and smaller. This time it's not too bad. It's not on any sort of crazy terrain. There's a couple of dips and a couple of mountains there, here and there, but nothing too crazy. Now Blink just pushing up here towards Impalas, putting up a bit of a movement. You can hear the shots flying off now as Schnitz takes the first hit. Yeah, bit of a sandwich that we've got here. Yep. Just coming in slowly, pushing that pressure inwards, closer and closer, just pushing these teams together. Shots going across the road, going back and forth, up and down, everywhere. The shots are ringing forth. Imp in such a bad position. There's not much cover that they can get, so they've popped so many smokes to try and keep that cover going. DARKSIDE is just above them. They've got Blink just on the other side, and then on the other side of the road, Natural Killers just putting the shots onto all 3 of those teams. Imp taking a lot of damage. Blink taking quite a bit of shots now. Darksiders are their enemies that they're facing right here. Natural Killers still just across the road, taking some pot shots back and forth. The Schnitz once again on his famous flanking, as he usually likes to do. Meanwhile, President going to be hit really hard, and it's up to Paraboy to make something happen, and there's just not much to play around. It's going to be so difficult to do anything now, left alone between these 2 teams here as the zone moves in once again to just make things even more difficult. Oh, that blue zone is devastating, and Natural Killers just easily slipping onto that one. Yeah. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
End of our 3rd round. We've got one more match to go. This, of course, being the Erangel map. So we're going to jump up into a quick highlight there, and we'll bring you guys back as soon as the match is ready to go. So right, here we go.
The zone, you can see some of the teams still straggling along behind, and some teams up there in between Torre and Cruz. You can see there's effects just up near by Squish and What's the other one? Squishing somebody else.
Here we go.
That's the
Ah,
one.
down goes Sinister. Some great shots.
Skr and Squish are 2 players, so you know you're gonna have that advantage. So once you feel comfortable, you can just rush the house with all of your players once you're set up. So Effects in a pretty good position here. They could potentially just rush into the house, and it looks like that might be what they're doing here. They do have the man advantage, and they could definitely catch some players out here. So Skr goes down. That's gonna leave Squish all alone, and this should be pretty easy, and it is. Squish goes down as well. So that is Darth Vader, and they know they need to get those thirsts in quick because the blue zone is making the damage a little bit more dangerous. Yeah. Oh. Putting the shots onto all 3 of those teams. Imp taking a lot of damage. It's going to be so difficult to do anything now. Left alone between these 2 teams here as the zone moves in once again to just make things even more difficult. Oh, that blue zone is devastating, and Natural Killer's just easily slipping onto that one.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. Right, so we are getting ready for our fourth and final match of the day. Of course, this one being on the Erangel map. So just based on what we've seen in the past two matches, I can't really say the previous three matches, but the previous two matches, it has been some interesting developments there. But of course, Mr. Patchy has been the one that was able to watch all the previous three rounds so far, because I was stuck.
Yes.
Yes. So Patchy, you looking forward to the stuff that we're gonna be having in this round?
Yeah, absolutely. We saw some really spicy stuff in this previous match. We saw fights across the road. You know, two teams or three teams on the one side, one team on the other side, and then you know, some spicy shots up and down, and then obviously Natural Killers taking some just pot shots at all the three teams as they were fighting there, and. Yeah, so we had a very spicy final zone as per usual, but of course now we're back on Erangel, which means that yeah, I'm thinking we're going to see a little bit more fights. Obviously, the map not so big, so yeah, I'm ready to get into it.
Yeah, well, glad to see you got a bit of a change of outfit there.
Yeah, I decided to stop leaning against the tree this time. You know, get a little bit more comfortable. You know, it's so cold outside these days. Yeah. You know, now I'm just, now I'm out here making sure I'm just a little bit more warm.
Alright, so let's jump up into the match. As you can see, of course, we've got a few players still going at it as well. So we've got 45 players, we've got 12 teams in the lobby. Here are our 12 teams. We've got Oxy, Alpha Pack, we've got the players from Blink, Complexity, we've got DARKSIDE, Effects, the Exterminators, God of Devils, we've got Imp, we've got the players from MECHA 6, Natural Killers, as well as the team there from, NEXUS SCARLET, Patch.
yeah. And in case, you're going to see a nice spicy little flight line going down there from the northeast all the way down over Sosnovka military base, which feels real good, man. I like to see it. Means we might just get a couple of drops going in that direction, but it also means that those, you know, hot zones that we always keep talking about are not going to be very easily accessible. Rozhok School, Pochinki, they're going to have to take a little bit of dash if they want to get there, and obviously George going to be a little bit far away to go to if they want to go there.
Well, we've already got two teams already now making their way in. That, of course, being the players there from NEXUS SCARLET and the players from MECHA 6. I'm just reminding you of the name every now and again. Every opportunity I get. And it's great to see we've got like 3 bundles of teams.
Yeah.
Just moving up, heading off in towards similar directions there. So this is definitely going to be a fairly interesting one. Let's firstly jump up to the players that we've got up in Yasnaya. The players there from NEXUS SCARLET and the team there from MECHA 6 as well. Yeah, like you said, we got some nice little clusters going on here. You know, 3 little clusters, and of course a couple of teams dropping down there towards the military base. And then the Alpha Pack, they're really just going to be breaking the mold. They're going all the way to the other side towards Multi Power, where they're going to be nice and alone. They can just sit there for a little bit of time. But right now we've got quite a number of teams just hovering around sort of Rozhok and School. We've got some teams going just towards Pochinki and Farm. And then, of course, 2 teams, that being NEXUS SCARLET and the players there from MECHA 6 up in Yasnaya. Oh, we got Earl trying to put a few shots over towards Oxy. Yeah, Earl. Well done, Earl. We got the Exterminators also holding up at the apartments there. So we got Grobbies and his teammate there rotating up. I can't really see the name, but I can see it's Grobbies. And then, of course, the Mad Knight playing at night, moving in. We got some potential action once again in Pochinki. The players, of course, they're from Blink, getting quite close. Let's see, will we see Imp getting the push on them? So Imp is running with the 3-man team from what I can see here. And it looks like they might be retreating ever so slightly. We got Reaper Godzilla and Mr. Magnus pulling back, and the team from Blink pushing forward towards them. We got Paraboy, of course, now trying to move up. We've got a few shots flying up. You can just hear that SKS going off in the background. And let's see, will Paraboy get the hits? He's, of course, now the player from Blink, being the nearest to the team here from Imp.
Yeah, interested to see what happens here. We'll see if Imp decide to take this fight, if they can fall back to a decent position, or if they'll just decide to try and get out as soon as possible. You can see one of their teammates has already just decided to sort of bail on the whole situation. He's going all the way down south. The last two of them just sitting up here, making sure they don't get taken down too quickly from Blink yet, who are putting the shots in. There goes Godzilla.
There we go. Paraboy taking down Godzilla. Yet again, we know some people will be quite happy to hear that being said. And let's see. Oh, Reaper just on the other side there. Paraboy not really being able to find the angle on him. We got Mercury also now just sneaking up from the side. Just tapping away. So who's gonna get it? We got a tree in the way.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy for Imp here. They're in a bit of a sticky situation, and Blink are really moving up on them quite quickly. So they're going to have to win a couple of fights here, a couple of battles if they want to get out of this one unscathed. Otherwise, their friend there, who's rotated all the way around the side, might just be their only hope at moving forward into the last couple of zones.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Imp trying to make the quick run. We got Shroud and President rotating up the side. Mercury getting the hit in. Now Reaper left there behind the chopper. Up they come, moving in. Down he goes. So Mr. Magnus is, of course, the last hope left. And down they go. Lobby it is. Ooh, we got the Natural Killers now pushing up on the players here from Complexity as well. Seems like the whole squad might be rotating up towards them. Let's see where they're going to go. Are they going to pull up? Well, that might happen if we see some shots here. Sela and Juicy also getting just moving up, exchanging for a new fresh vehicle, maybe just adding another one to the assault fort. I don't know, whatever. Whatever you call that. I'm blanking out today, so yay! Happy days, happy days. Mr. Magnus is still alive and moving.
Yeah, he's still out there.
Yep.
Still out there. Can probably survive. We've seen some one-man squads, you know, survive a decent amount of time. So there's potential, but yeah, it's going to be difficult to wind their way around all of the remaining players. Now, we are going to be seeing that zone towards the western side, still encompassing a bit of that military base, half of it. So still some room to move. Most of the players still kind of inside the zone, despite that. Blue Zone hasn't come in really just yet, so nobody really feeling the pressure just yet. But regardless of whether they're feeling the pressure from the Blue Zone or not, a lot of the teams are sort of inside the zone in these hotspots. You know, Pachinki's got Blink all around there, and there's some teams just, you know, hovering around that space school populated by the Exterminators. You can see Mecha 6 just around the outskirts of that. You've got Darksiders in Rozhok. So, yeah, it is a very populated zone at the moment. So I'm interested to see when the next zone is decided eventually. Of course, that Blue Zone still quite a ways off. Yeah,
and it's definitely something that you want to see as these teams now all start converging onto similar positions there. You know, once the action starts, it's going to be quite crazy. Because we're sitting on 12 teams, 43 players. Oh, Mr. Magnus. Gets sent to the lobby there by Sela. Well done.
Poor guy was alone and just being absolutely hunted. Not really much of a chance, unfortunately. It is what it is.
It is what it are. And off they go. The Natural Killers now on the prowl once again. They might even maybe bump up into the players here from Oxy rather. So let's see. We got Chrobis and Papi, of course, now holding up fairly close there to the Gatka area. The Natural Killers now just quickly regrouping. We've got Blink still holding up in Pachinki. We've got two players there from Complexity making their way over towards the Sixes there. We've got the team from Mecha 6 slowly but surely making their way as well. The Exterminators still up in school. And then, of course, we've got DARKSIDE busy looting it up in the Rozhok area. And we've got the players there from NEXUS SCARLET over in Yasnaya making their way around, and also back, of course, over at Malta. And effects we have on the military island slowly but surely now starting to make their way up in towards zone. So we'll see whether or not they're going to start rotating up on towards the main island, or are they going to stay put on the military island. And then of course our friends there from the God of Demons, Devils.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, there we go, them. Over in Primorsk. Quick name change there. But yeah. It sounded the same.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, fair enough. The gist is there, you know. It's there.
Yes.
It's there. The relations are there. In any case, you know, if I was Effect, I would have probably stayed on the military base, but that's just because I like the military base, and there's still a chance that the zone could choose to fall in that direction. You know, we've seen it happen a couple of times. There's no guarantee that it's going to fall on the main island, despite that being the majority of what the zone is comprised of at the moment. So, you know, there's still that chance. There's still a chance. But, yeah, instead, Effects, they make the decision to rotate quickly, moving up the bridge and just into the main island. So now we've got quite a line of players just inside that zone. You can see the players there from Blink and Pachinki. Just above them, we have Mecha 6, and above them, we've got the Exterminators. Then, yeah, DARKSIDE is still just around the area of Rozhok. And, yeah, otherwise, we're just sort of waiting for that pressure to be applied from one source or another. Maybe Blink will run into Mecha 6 here, potentially.
Yeah, there's great potential for that, as they, of course, now are moving up quite a bit there. That, of course, being the players from Mecha 6. They're moving up as a nice squad, you know, great movement there by them coming in. And we have Blink at the moment, you know, a little bit spread out. Not as many, you know, not grouped together, you know, too closely. You know, it could count in their favor, and also it could, you know, be a bit of a disadvantage, but it of course all depends on what they do with it in the end of the day. You know, whether they're going to try and make a good move out of that, or yeah, which way around it's going to go. We got Mr. Poison getting very close to Blink. Ash also right there with him as well. So Blink now starting to rotate up. We got Mr. President, of course, now just trying to rotate his way around the rock here, where we've got the church. So Mecha 6, of course, now just managing up. And we might see a few potential shots flying up over towards Poison and Ash as well, as they are still out in the open. President now trying to see if he's spotting anyone right there, but it doesn't seem that way just yet.
Yeah, still waiting just to see how this is going to turn out. You've got Mecha 6 just hovering around there, Blink trying to spot out for something. Meanwhile, Exterminators are moving in there from the north, just moving their way down. So this could turn into one of those nice and spicy sandwiches that we keep seeing happening time and time again. We'll see if that does end up being the case.
So President opening fire over towards the players there from Mecha 6. Ash getting shot at. President taking one or two quick hits. Some more shots now from President heading up. Ooh, Shade getting the hit in on him though. Well done. Goodness, the Shroud and everyone now closing back up. Mercury trying to set up a little bit of a defense there. Let's see, will he be able to successfully defend while his teammate is getting raised up?
Just waiting to see how that turns out. Meanwhile, the new zone will be decided down there towards the southwest. That's going to force people a little bit closer, but still plenty of space to move around. So we're just waiting to see what is going to happen.
We've got the Exterminators also now moving up from the northeast there. Slowly but surely closing in on the players here from Blink, as well as they make their way up in towards zone. So we'll see. There's a potential for quite a few fights, but we haven't seen anything just yet. So let's see how this unfolds, and yeah, maybe we can get the number of teams down to our final players. Of course, you know, see who claims the chicken dinner for this round.
Yeah. We definitely will see. We've got 42 players, the magic number right there. 11 teams. And, we're waiting for those fights to begin happening. Right now, there's no motivating factors really. It's mostly just chance, coming down to, you know, where the teams decide to go, where they decide to sort of rotate to, how they decide to do so. right now there's nothing really forcing them together just yet. The zone is relatively large still, you know, in comparison, but it's gonna get smaller as the zone does, and well, we're definitely gonna see them fighting anytime soon. And once that begins, it will not stop until we have our chicken dinner decided.
Yeah, we got Mr. Paraboy there. I don't know if he's exploring or scouting. But he is getting quite close to the exterminators here. We might even see a few hits now flying over towards him. He has been spotted. He is being chased. Let's see, will he be able to drag them all the way back over to the range of his teammates? Put them up in the line of fire? Well, it seems like the players there from the exterminators not really falling for that move. They decide to rather just stay comfortably in the position that they've got. You know, just on the outskirts of zone there. And we've got the players now from NEXUS SCARLET rotating up towards zone, heading in as well. And we might see a few shots here from the exterminators, of course, now start flying off as the players there from, you know, NEXUS SCARLET now start making their rotation in. Rotation towards zone. There we go. That sounds better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that one.
Alright, so no shots so far just yet. Over towards the players there as they rotate in, making their way up. Oh, there we go. Shots now starting to fly across. Will they get the hits? We've got some evasive maneuvers. We got Psycho, Shadow, Sinister, and Hunter. Some impressive parking. He drives it all the way over the building. Wow. Let's see. Up comes the second attempt. Oh. There's a bit of a lip grab there, and yeah, didn't exactly land that one as expected there, but hey, it was probably worth a shot. And we got the team now from Blink slowly but surely closing in on the exterminators. We hear a few shots, of course, now flying off as well, as we can see the team there from Blink now starting to move up. Also, the exterminators are now moving in as well, trying to make their way up into towards zone. Oh, David gets taken down once again. Nitro and Ruan, as well as Easy Kill, still on the prowl. Ooh, there we go.
Somebody getting driven over.
Wow, that is some great effects they've got there. Nicely done.
Yeah. Well, Mecha 6 in effect, definitely going at it.
What? Like everyone is pushing up to this one spot. No, go back. There we go. So effects and the players here from Mecha 6. Oh, all converging on this one point. There we go. Paraboy getting hit as well. So let's try and quickly jump back to that fight. I was hoping to see some action, and now we're getting it by the bucket loads.
Yeah, well, Effect and Mecha 6 are still going at it. Ash gonna get hit. Meanwhile, you can see Blink still moving up there on the exterminator. Some shots going to be exchanged as Mercury starts to put the hits in, but gets taken down.
Quick thirst as well, eh? No wasting of any time.
Yeah.
Seems like Blink are going to try and rotate up as well. And we got Oxy now pulling up over towards Alpha Pack, where we have several more shots taking place elsewhere on the map as well. Ooh, Alpha Pack closing in on Mr. Grobbies and Papi here. Tupac getting raised once again. Here we go. Holgan Power showing us what he's got.
Yeah. Now Effects down to 2 players, as well as Mecha 6 also down to 2 players as they finish their sort of bouts of fighting against one another. It might just go back at it again. Meanwhile, OXIUM and the Alpha Pack also going at it just around the drop. Going to be fighting it out, but OXIUM do have a lot more players, and they're going to be rotating in quickly, so Alpha Pack need to get these hits in as quickly as possible. The shots ringing through very, very quickly. Holgan doing some work. Can OXIUM bring this one back? We'll see. They're going to get those shots in. Holgan Power going to fall. SG going to take some hits as well. That's Mecha 6 getting hit hard by Effect. Oh, Alpha Pack doing some work, but eventually they will be taken down. So OXIUM going to come out on top of that one as well.
Yeah, so Poison, of course, he's now the last one left for the Mecha 6 team. So let's see, will he be able to get those hits in? Will he clutch it? Only time will tell as the team there from Effects now start closing in on his position. Mr. Poison all alone. Alright, so up they come, moving bit by bit. Robbie's still alone as well. Effects closing up the space between them and Mr. Poison here. So let's see, will they get it? We got Angry and Ozone. Cue the music. Dun-dun.
Yeah. That zone getting smaller and smaller is going to mean that all those teams are just being pushed slowly but surely in towards one another. We have 10 teams, 28 players. Poison is being hunted here a little bit. We'll see if they manage to find him again, get him out, take him to the lobby. The rest of the Gods and Devils squad is going to be moving up in towards that zone. They might just meet head to head with OXIUM there, who are just chilling around that drop.
Well, they might get a little bit of an unpleasant surprise there, as the team here from, you know, God of Devils are now starting to move in. Let's see. Ooh, Shadow has spotted someone. He spots Oxide. Are they going to take the shot? We got Chrobis also just over towards the right-hand side of where Oxide is. There we go. The two of them are having a quick little dash there. Shadow being a bit wary, not taking the engagement just yet. Waiting for the remainder of the group now, of course, to join back up with him. There we go, so Oxide now standing perfectly still in the open. Perfect opportunity for the players here from the God of Devils to get those hits in. But yet again, they're not taking the shots. There's 4 versus 2. Loads of opportunity here.
Now the question is, have they really sniffed out that opportunity, or are they just being a little bit overly cautious here? You can see Mbappe trying to scope out over towards those players from OXIUM. As you said, there's only 2, but they need to realize that and take those shots, and they're not taking the shots. They're playing very passively, and I'm not sure to what end that they are trying to achieve. I'm not sure what the end goal, end result of not taking the shots is, because ultimately, if you're not going to get the drop onto those teammates, eventually they're going to spot you out. And once that happens, it's going to be even more difficult to get those hits. And so they might just be wanting to catch them completely by surprise, but they really are playing very, very slowly in that regard.
And I mean, watching Mr. Oxide here, he almost had his scope exactly set right on top of them. I mean, he was, you know, I don't know, he was so close. It was almost exactly spot on. And we've seen now a few times, you know, looking from the perspective of the players here, you know, the God of Devils, they've had several opportunities where the players were lined up perfectly in the crosshairs.
Yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, I watched Mbappe literally watch as Oxide ran across the screen. His crosshairs were literally on top of him, but he didn't take the shots just yet. And I'm interested to know why that was. They can clearly see the players from OXIUM moving around, and eventually those players are going to slip out of reach, and the shot's finally going to start ringing out, but only after they get spotted out. And I'm not too sure what sort of trap they were trying to set up, but yeah, it's ultimately not going to work, and now they're going to have to just try and get to OXIUM before they can make their escape.
Because now they've been pinned down, you know?
Yeah.
A whole squad of 4 getting pinned down by 2 players. You know, and it's
yeah,
that's what happens if you take a little bit, you know, if you take a little bit of time to start your engagement. You know, you're of course giving the other team, you know, the opportunity to get, you know, the upper hand on your position.
Yeah, I mean, the patience play can definitely pay off sometimes, but eventually you have to pull that trigger, and sometimes just playing it so slowly can really be detrimental.
Yeah, well, We're moving up over towards the Natural Killers. They've got the team, of course, there from, oh, the DARKSIDE right behind them. Up comes Mr. Nax. We got the Complexity also putting a quick few hits in to the NEXUS SCARLET team. DARKSIDE taking several hits. And, of course, the same going for the players there from the Natural Killers.
Yeah, so we have a couple of those shots going in. You can see Oxide managing to escape. Robbie's on his way as well. So God of Devil's going to be kicking themselves a little bit for not being able to capitalize on the opportunity that was presented to them. Now it's going to be the squad there from Complexity. We're going to be trying to take the fight here. We'll see if they can come out on top of this one. Or if they're going to go down.
Yeah, well, NEXUS SCARLET also kind of got them their scopes right on top of them. This is going to be a 2v4 or is it 3? Yeah, 2v3.
It's a 2v3, yeah. Yeah. We'll see if Skur and Squish can do this. Getting themselves healed up. A little bit of grins coming through.
Oh, there we go. The Natural Killers getting those hits in on DARKSIDE. We got Psycho now starting to rotate up in front of us here. Complexity, of course. Well, one half of the Complexity caught out in the blue zone. Skrr puts some good shots in, but gets taken down. We got Squish, of course, now moving up as well. Psycho sends him back.
Yeah, that blue zone is deadly. It turns a decent situation into an absolutely insane one. Now you can see Natural Killers, OXIUM just rolling up below them. God of Devil's moving up behind them as well. DARKSIDE is just off towards the side. So we've got a little bit of a clump going in there, and President taking some damage as well in the meantime.
Well, Oxy putting themselves in a pretty good spot here. We got the players there from the Exterminators, of course, now putting several shots across as well. Ooh, wait, did they... Man, these people are so fast.
Yeah, OXIUM getting taken down there. Natural Killers, God of Devils, Darksiders, all just in this surrounding area, getting those shots over, getting the shots in, trying to capitalize, get all as many kills as they can. We've got a long line of players coming in there from the northwest down towards the southwest. Just a line, Darksiders, Natural Killers, and of course God of Devils. We'll see if they decide to fight this one out, or if they'll just switch it up a little bit, maybe get themselves out of that space. Not much space to move around in now, and getting into zone is going to start becoming more and more important as the zone gets smaller and smaller.
Well, you can see the DARKSIDE also coming up with a fairly interesting split there. We've got the players there, of course, from the NEXUS SCARLET team putting a few hits in over towards the Gods of Devils there. We got Mad Knight getting taken down. We got Earl and Mr. Nax.
Earl!
Yeah, trying to make a run for it. Blink now putting a few hits over towards them as well. And see, will Nax be able to get this? He is moving up, getting closer to the Natural Killers. But you can also hear the Natural Killers moving up as well. Up comes Juice and Mamba. There we go. Oh, quick work. Earl, the next one up for a shave. And lobby it is.
Yeah, lobby it is. Now Shadow's the last one there for God of Devils. Natural Killers moving up onto the final players there from Mega 6. Blink just sitting in this building here, checking out in all directions to see if they can spot anyone out. They are mostly alone though, as of course players there from I believe it's NEXUS SCARLET, they're down towards the south, as Natural Killers go hunting for Poison and take him down. He goes back to the lobby, and we are left with our final 4 teams and 10 players remaining as we are left into this very, very small zone.
And the Natural Killers had a pretty good approach there on, you know, Poison as he pulled up. They just all turned around and just started circling him. You know, he only saw one player, but, you know, it's almost the whole squad spotted him as he, of course, then pulled up right into the middle of that. And there was no other way to go other than to the lobby.
Yeah.
The odds were just not in his favor.
Yeah, it happens. It happens.
Now, it's interesting to see the players here from NEXUS SCARLET. They're busy smoking it up quite heavily, you know, trying to make their way up in towards zone. But the thing that I'm noticing is There's a lot of smoke, but no actual path in towards the zone. So they've got the barriers there. It's a pretty good idea. I would have just liked to see it, you know, maybe move more in a direction of a potential, you know, spot to take cover behind.
Yeah.
Because this for
ultimately,
me is
when you want to be using your smokes, you obviously want to create a sort of wall, like a passage of you know, of shroudness, darkness, whatever you want to call it, to sort of move across different positions, and your utility usage is going to be quite important. But in any case, natural killers are going to be under some heavy fire here, as Blink's actually going to roll up there. The players there from God actually just all the way on the other side. Everyone trying to put some hits in towards the natural killers. They have taken quite a bit of damage. Now Blink is very, very close up. You're going to pop that smoke to try and stop them, but Natural Killer is going to be putting the hits in as well. Trying to fight back.
nice.
Ooh. Nice, Gren.
It's up to Juicy now.
Seller.
But a pretty good fight though from the NEXUS SCARLET team. You know, the smokes could use a bit of work, but the shooting definitely not. Beautiful hits there by Apex. Beautiful hit. Sinister doing some sinister things. And we got Mr. Shadow also now just ripping it up with his M249.
Yeah. When you're one man, you got to bring a lot of firepower to the table if you want to do something, but ultimately going to be taken down, leaving us with 2 teams and 4 players. We'll see if Blink can get the upper hand on the NEXUS SCARLET team, or if they're going to get taken down. You can see Shadow getting dropped, leaving it all in the hands of Sinister. Can he get it done? 1v2, not too much cover left. We've got a rock and some trees for these teams to try and get the shots in, but President and Shroud have the 2-player advantage, and they're popping the smoke to try and get that mystery going, try and start playing those mind games to get in those positions, to get the hits in. President very, very aggressively making his way up. The smoke's going down to make Sinister just that much more confused about where they might be approaching from. Could this be the end?
Well, we will find out pretty soon as they move in, but we've seen some pretty good plays from Sinister as well. You know, so he might still be able to clutch this, you know, from the hands of Blink. Ooh, sends a pretty good grain right across, right onto the front step of Blink. So it's not over yet. Both teams, of course, now being able to get into some good cover there. You got a quick few shots from Sinister flying up Blink. Oh, the smoke, of course, now fading. President taking a hit, but Sinister taking an even bigger hit. Up they come now, pushing up aggressively on the side. Are they going to get the hit on Sinister? Oh, come on. Oh. Nice, one more.
Oh, no.
Come on, he's going to get it.
This is so close.
Oh, man.
That was close. That was so close.
Wow. What a play, what a play. Blink and the players there from NEXUS SCARLET finishing it off. Wow, Blink finishing off their play on 7, and we got NEXUS finishing on 10. Amazing finish though to that match. And then of course we at least see 1 kill for the players there for God of Devils. Well done, well played there to Mr. Shadow with his M249. We got the Natural Killers coming in with 8 kills in 4th place, and then of course we got Mecha 6 with 1 kill in 5th. We got the DARKSIDE in 6th place. We got the Exterminators in 7th. We got the players there from OXIUM in 8th place. We got Effects landing themselves in a 9th place. We got Complexity in 10th place. Alpha Pack, of course, taking 11th. And then we've got Imp going back to the lobby first for this round. So there we go. There we go. What a show. What a party. What a bash.
Spicy. I must say, that was quite spicy. And that final play there was so close. Sinister, literally, if he had known that there was a player coming up on his left as well, he could have easily won that one. But the fact that he only saw the player on the right, took them down, and then won it, and still managed to just stay alive a little bit longer was really, really well played. And that could have gone either way, but ultimately well played to Blink. They played that one really well. But all the players in the lobby really bringing some good gameplay here towards the end.
No, that was to paraphrase. That was some spicy stuff, you know. That was a crazy finish there, and a pretty good play there by Sinister. You know, just how he handled the situation there. Yes, okay, it didn't pay off in his favor, but man, it was a show. That was a show. Well done, dude. That was amazing. I love that. That was great. That was great.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff you love to see a little bit more. So yeah, keep it up, keep going, and I'm keen to see more of the matches going forward into the future.
There we go. There we go. All right. So now that you've seen Mr. Spatchy's face actually moving for once. We're gonna jump up into the highlights for today, of course, and after that we're gonna end off the stream. So be sure to join us back again on a Wednesday when we get into the Pro Series Week 3, which is gonna be even more interesting and more intense. I hope you're ready for this one though, Patch. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm always ready. I'm always ready to see the spicy stuff.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So without much further ado, let's jump into the highlights and then we're going to end it off. And we shall see you all back again on Wednesday. So have a fantastic evening. See you in the next one. There we go.
Quite a ways off.
Yeah, and it's definitely something that you want to see as these teams now all start converging onto similar positions there. You know, once the action starts, it's going to be quite crazy because we're sitting on 12 teams, 43 players. Oh, Mr. Magnus gets sent to the lobby there by Sela. Well done.
Going to be fighting it out, but OXIUM do have a lot more players and they're going to be rotating in quickly, so AlphaPack need to get these hits in as quickly as possible. The shots ringing through very, very quickly. Hogan doing some work. Can OXIUM bring this one back? We'll see. They're going to get those shots in. Hogan Power going to fall. SG going to take some hits as well. That's Mecha 6 getting hit hard by Effect. Oh, AlphaPack doing some work, but eventually we'll see if Skur and Squish can do this. Getting themselves healed up. A little bit of Grens coming through.
Oh, there we go. The Natural Killers getting those hits in on DARKSIDE. We got Psycho now starting to rotate up in front of us here. Complexity, of course. Well, one half of the Complexity caught out in the blue zone. Skrr put some good shots in, but gets taken down. We got Squish, of course, now moving up as well. Psycho sends him back. Down we got Earl and Mr. Nax.
Earl!
Yeah. Trying to make a run for it. Blink now putting a few hits over towards them as well. Let's see, will Nax be able to get this? He is moving up. Getting closer to the Natural Killers. But you can also hear the Natural Killers moving up as well. Up comes Juice and Mamba. There we go. Oh, quick work. Earl, the next one up for a shave. And lobby it is.
Yeah, lobby it is. Now Shadow's the last one there for Goddard Devils. Natural Killers moving up onto the final players there from Mecha 6. Blink just sitting in this building here, checking out in all directions to see if they can spot anyone out. They are mostly alone though, as of course players there from I believe it's NEXUS, SCARLET, they're down towards the south, as Natural Killers go hunting for Poison and take him down. He goes back to the lobby. Blink is very, very close up. You're going to pop that smoke to try and stop them, but Natural Killer is going to be putting the hits in as well. Trying to fight back.
Nice.
Ooh. Nice, Gren.
It's up to Juicy now.
Seller.
But a pretty good fight though from the NEXUS Scarlet team. You know, the smokes could use a bit of work, but the shooting definitely not. Beautiful hits there by Apex. Beautiful hit. Fight though from the NEXUS Scarlet team. You know, the smokes could use a bit of work, but the shooting definitely not. Beautiful hits there by Apex. Beautiful hit. Sinister doing some sinister things. And we got Mr. Shadow also now just ripping it up with his M249.
Yeah. When you're one man, you got to bring a lot of firepower to the table if you want to do something, but ultimately gonna be
both teams, of course, now being able to get into some good cover there. You got a quick few shots from Sinister flying up. Blink. Oh, the smoke, of course, now fading. President taking a hit, but Sinister taking an even bigger hit. Up they come now, pushing up aggressively on the side. Are they gonna get the hit on Sinister? Oh, come on. Nice, one more.
Oh, no.
Come on, he's gonna get it.
This is so close.
Oh, man.